presentation, you will be shown the proper techniques to select, inspect, set up, use, and care for single ladders and extension ladders. Ladders are useful tools that, when used properly, serve as a safety system for climbing. Working at an elevated height is, however, inherently dangerous, and the safety afforded by a ladder is often circumvented by misuse. Each year, over 160,000 people are injured as a result of falls from ladders due to not following safety precautions. Most of the injuries are cuts, bruises, and fractures, but more than 300 result in death. Making a mistake while using a single ladder or extension ladder can change or end your life. Properly following the techniques presented in this training will maximize your safety. To begin, let's first examine the single ladder and extension ladder. You may not know what the term single ladder means. A single ladder is a one-piece, non-self-supporting portable ladder, non-adjustable in length. It is virtually identical to the base section of an extension ladder, which is why the training for single and extension ladders are logically combined. In fact, it is acceptable to use the base section of an extension ladder designed with detachable sections as a single ladder. The extension ladder is more complex in that it has more parts. An extension ladder is a multiple-piece, non-self-supporting portable ladder that is adjustable in length. It consists of a base section and one or two adjustable telescopic sections, often called fly sections, that move within guides and/or brackets arranged to permit length adjustment. Both single and extension ladders are intended for use by only one person performing work. Single and extension ladders require a level ground support point in addition to a top support. Let's compare the single ladder to the extension ladder. Both are comprised of side rails, rungs, end caps, instructions and warning labels, and anti-slip safety shoes, which are optional on wood ladders. The extension ladder, however, has multiple pieces and more parts relating to the movement of the telescoping fly section or sections. These include fly section rung locks, which lock the fly section in position in relation to the base section. Guides and/or brackets that restrain and guide the movement of the fly section. And a rope and pulley system, which is required to facilitate extending the fly section on extension ladders longer than 16 feet. Single ladders and extension ladders are manufactured in a variety of sizes, materials, and duty ratings. To select the right single or extension ladder for a particular job, the following must be considered. Work site environment. The work site environment is the first factor in choosing the material from which the ladder is constructed. Ladder materials include wood, fiberglass, and aluminum. If the work to be done is near a source of electricity or requires the use of electrical power tools, an aluminum ladder should be rejected since aluminum is an electrical conductor. Electrical shock while working from a ladder can trigger a fall or cause your heart to stop, leading to serious injury or death. A clean, dry fiberglass or wood ladder should be used. On the other hand, if there are no electrical power sources in the work area, an aluminum ladder may be lighter in weight and a satisfactory option. Next, size of the ladder must be considered. Single ladders are available in sizes up to 30 feet. Extension ladders range in size from 16 feet to 60 feet. The length of a single ladder is the same as its size. The length of an extension ladder is dependent upon the number of fly sections and the amount of overlap between each section. A minimum overlap is required for extension ladders of 3 feet for 16 to 32 feet ladders, and up to 6 feet overlap for ladders taller than 48 feet. The maximum extended length of an extension ladder is equal to the size minus the length of the overlap. The maximum extended length of an extension ladder is shown on a label on the side rail of the ladder. Selection of proper single or extension ladder size requires knowledge of the height to the top support point. In the event the top support point is a roof eave, The top of the single or extension ladder must extend 3 feet above the roof eave if the climber's intent is to access the roof. The highest standing level should also be considered. For single and extension ladders, the highest standing level is the uppermost rung that is at least 3 feet down from the top of the ladder. The highest standing level is shown on a label on the side rail of single and extension ladders. For extension ladders, this dimension changes as the ladder is adjusted to different extensions. It is unsafe to use a ladder that is too long or too short. The maximum work height is established by adding your height and reach to the highest standing level of the ladder. Do not step or stand above the highest standing level on the ladder. Doing so will increase the likelihood of losing your balance and falling from the ladder. As a general rule, never step on the top 3 rungs of a single or extension ladder. Finally, calculate the total weight the ladder is to support. Do this by adding your weight plus the weight of your clothing and any protective equipment, the weight of tools and supplies you will be using, and the weight of any tools and supplies to be stored on the ladder while working. Compare the total weight to the duty rating of the ladder, which will be shown on a label on the ladder. There are 5 categories of ladder duty ratings. Type 1AA, special duty, supports a maximum of 375 pounds. Type 1A, extra heavy duty, supports a maximum of 300 pounds. Type 1, heavy duty, supports a maximum of 250 pounds. Type 2, medium duty, supports a maximum of 225 pounds. Type 3, light duty, supports a maximum of 200 pounds. Do not assume that a longer ladder has a higher weight capacity. There is no relationship between ladder length and weight capacity. The key to ladder safety begins with the inspection of the worksite and of the ladder. To properly inspect and secure the worksite, check overhead for electrical hazards or obstructions. Clear any clutter from where the base of the ladder will be located. Be sure the surface on which the ladder is going to be placed is free of anything slippery, such as water, ice, or oil. Be aware of environmental conditions. Rain, snow, and ice increase slipping hazards. Wind may cause instability while carrying, moving, and using single and extension ladders. Block off the area around the ladder to prevent being knocked from the ladder by people or equipment. If you are working around a corner, put up signs to warn others of your presence. Ladders must not be placed in front of closed doors. The door must be blocked open, locked, or guarded. Although highly durable, a ladder can become damaged by improper handling, transport, fire, or corrosion. A thorough inspection should be made at the time of purchase and before each use. Never use a damaged ladder. To begin, examine the ladder for loose, damaged, or missing parts. Start the inspection at the bottom of the ladder. Make sure the feet are not broken or malfunctioning and that the shoes are secure. Moving up the ladder, inspect the side rails for dents, cracks, or bends. Along the way, check each rung. Ensure the rung-to-rail connections are free from damage. Inspect all hardware and accessories. If inspecting an extension ladder, make sure both rung locks are in working order. Rivets, joints, nuts, and bolts must be tightly secured. If the extension ladder includes a rope and pulley, test for smooth operation. Replace the rope if frayed or cut. All surfaces must be clean of oil, grease, and other slippery or sticky materials. When transporting a ladder to the worksite, caution must be used to avoid injuries, property damage, or damage to the ladder. If carrying a ladder solo, keep the front end slightly higher than the back end. long ladders should always be carried by 2 people. When carrying an extension ladder, make sure the fly section is retracted. When transporting by vehicle, secure both ends of the ladder and use care when loading and unloading from ladder racks. A ladder that does not pass inspection but is repairable should be tagged, taken out of service, and stored away from usable ladders until repaired. A ladder deemed not repairable, such as missing parts, having a damaged side rail or damaged rung, should be destroyed and replaced. Absolutely never use a damaged ladder. A major cause of falls from ladders is improper setup. Using proper setup techniques will provide the ladder maximum stability and ensure your safety. Proper setup of single ladders and extension ladders begin with the same steps. First, position the single or extension ladder on the ground with the bottom of the ladder touching the base of the wall. Lift the ladder by walking it up with your hands 1 rung at a time. For the straight ladder, pull the bottom of the ladder away from the wall until the angle of inclination is approximately 75 degrees. If using an extension ladder, position yourself between the ladder and the wall. Face the ladder and grip the ladder rail on the base section. Keeping the ladder vertical, raise the fly section. If the extension ladder is equipped with a rope and pulley system, use it to raise the fly section into place. Extend the ladder to the desired height and then allow the rung locks to properly engage. It is extremely important to make sure the rung locks are fully engaged. Never assume the locks are engaged. Move the base section of the extension ladder until it is at approximately a 75-degree angle. To check the ladder for the proper angle, place your toes against the bottom of the ladder side rails. Stand erect and extend your arms straight out. The angle is correct if the palms of your hand touches the top of the rung closest to your shoulder level. Another way of ensuring the proper angle of inclination is to place the base of the ladder a distance from the wall or upper support equal to 1/4 of the total working length of the ladder. The working length is the distance along the rail from the ground to the top support point. When setting up a single or extension ladder, the following safety rules apply. Make sure the ladder shoes are correctly positioned and on a firm, level surface. Use spur plates on penetrable surfaces to ensure safe footing. To adjust for uneven surfaces, use a ladder leveler. The top of a single or extension ladder must be placed with the 2 side rails equally supported, unless the ladder is equipped with a single support attachment. When it is necessary to support the top of the ladder at a window opening, a stabilizer should be attached across the back of the ladder and extending across the window to provide firm support against the building walls or window frames. Tie off the ladder whenever practical, particularly when you plan to do work while standing on the ladder. If you are climbing onto a roof, remember, the top of the single or extension ladder must extend 3 feet above the roof eave. The ladder should be tied or secured against sidewise motion at upper access level before climbing onto or off the ladder at the upper level. For maximum safety, have someone hold the ladder. Proper use of single ladders and extension ladders will contribute significantly to your safety. Common factors contributing to falls from improper ladder use include haste, sudden movement, poor quality footwear, and lack of attention. Follow these guidelines for safety when using a single ladder or extension ladder. Before taking the first step onto the ladder, make sure you're in condition to do so. If you feel tired or dizzy or are prone to losing balance, stay off the ladder. Do not use a ladder if you are impaired due to illness, drugs, alcohol, age, or physical handicap. Also, wear slip-resistant shoes with heavy soles to prevent foot fatigue. For maximum traction, clean your shoes of sticky or slick substances. Always read warning labels and instruction labels on the ladder prior to use or contact the equipment manufacturer with any questions. Before climbing, inspect the work area for slipping, tripping, or overhead hazards. Continually face the ladder as you climb, work, or descend. Always keep 3 points of contact with the ladder when climbing, holding on with 2 hands and 1 foot, or 2 feet and 1 hand. When climbing the ladder, you must keep your hands free for climbing. Items should be raised by alternative means, such as placed in your tool belt, a tow line, or handed up to you. As you climb an extension ladder and reach the bottom of the fly section, be sure to check for a second time that the rung locks are fully engaged before climbing on the fly section. Keep the middle of your body positioned between the side rails and do not overreach or lean while working. Overreach is one of the most common causes of ladder accidents. Don't overreach. If climbing onto a roof, do not step over the ladder. Step sideways onto the roof. Climb and descend slowly and surely, avoiding sudden movements. To move the ladder, first descend, then re-inspect the work area for slipping, tripping, or overhead hazards. If using an extension ladder, disengage the rung locks and completely retract the fly section. When lowering the ladder, keep fingers away from moving and sliding parts. Never move a ladder while in use. Do not jump or slide down from a ladder, or climb more than 1 rung at a time. A ladder must never be placed upon other objects, such as boxes, barrels, scaffolds, or other unstable bases in an effort to obtain additional height. Never use a ladder for any purpose other than the one for which it is intended. Now that you are familiar with proper ladder selection, inspection, setup, and use, let's discuss how to care for the ladder. To maximize the ladder's lifespan, the following techniques should be observed. Regularly lubricate the ladder's moving parts. Use caution when lubricating, making sure to avoid getting any lubricant onto the ladder's rungs or side rails. Keep the ladder clean, particularly of foreign matter that is conductive. Such substances can allow electrical current to travel over the surface of a fiberglass or wood ladder. Firmly support and protect ladders from heat, weather, and corrosive materials. Do not use a ladder as a storage shelf. Store ladders out of the reach of children. You have now been presented with the proper techniques to inspect, set up, safely use and care for single ladders and extension ladders. This concludes the presentation portion of the single and extension ladders.